When anger arrives, internalize rage, introject loops, and the long way home. For many people coming out of narcissistic abuse, whether from a romantic relationship, a family system, or a series of entangled, emotionally unsafe dynamics, anger doesn't come first. At the very beginning of collapse, you're not angry. You're confused, you're sad, you're ashamed, and you're overwhelmed. Your nervous system is flooded. Your sense of self has collapsed. And the one thing you feel least entitled to is anger. But eventually it comes. And when it does, it comes in distorted, inverted, and deeply damaging ways. The arrival of anger, why it's not what you expect. When anger finally shows up, it doesn't show up as power. It doesn't show up as clarity. It doesn't show up as a righteous voice rising from your gut and telling the truth. It arrives quietly, then violently, and it turns on you. You don't lash out, you implode. That's because the anger is not clean, it's been hijacked. The introject loop, the real battle, is inside. The voices you absorbed from the people who harmed you, your ex partner, a parent, an old friend, a sibling, a teacher, someone who dismissed or denied your experience. They don't leave when the relationship ends. They move inside and they begin to argue with you. But here's the crucial nuance. This isn't just self criticism, it is internal dialogue playing out like an endless courtroom where you're defending yourself against an invisible injury of former attachments. You find yourself justifying why you left, replaying the conversations where you were blamed, imagining what you should have said, trying to prove to people who are no longer there that you were good, that you were honest, that you didn't mean to fall apart. This is no longer grief. This is no longer self reflection. This is an introject loop, and it becomes a full psychic takeover. The danger of unresolved internal arguments. These arguments are not just thoughts, they are felt as real. They can last hours, even days, playing out inside your mind with voices and energy that aren't yours. And here's where the anger becomes crippling because you can't direct it outward. They're not there, and you can't resolve it inward because the loop isn't based on truth, it's based on their narrative. So, where does it go? It turns on the self. I should have seen this coming. How could I be so naive? Why did I stay so long? Why didn't I say more? What's wrong in me that I didn't see it? Maybe it was me. You spiral, and the anger, now fused with shame, becomes a feedback loop of collapse. MPIT names this structural collapse as part of inverse mirrored reflexive apathy. It happens when all the emotional energy becomes trapped inside mirrored internal objects, versions of others that live in your psyche and demand you keep proving yourself to them. You're not losing your mind, you're caught in a system. Let's be absolutely clear. This isn't madness. This isn't weakness. This is structure. You're not broken. You are trapped in a survival adaptation built to help you survive the unbearable, being unseen, unloved, and misrepresented by people you once trusted. But the structure, this pseudo narcissistic loop, has inverted. Instead of protecting you, it's now feeding on your anger. It uses your life force, your righteous rage, to keep you fighting ghosts inside yourself. This is why survivors feel exhausted, because they are fighting hundreds of internal arguments a day, and not one of those voices is truly theirs. Reclaiming your anger, a grounding practice. There is a way to stop the loop, not by silencing it, but by reclaiming the truth of your anger. Try this. Go somewhere alone, private and safe, and speak out loud to the person or people you're looping with, not from rage, from truth. Say what you need to say. Keep it short, real, not to justify, but to name it, and then stop and feel. What you may notice if you don't chase the loop is a sudden drop down your center, a quiet settling through the body, a feeling that something inside has just landed. This is not a psychological trick. That's your central self returning, even if it's just for a second. Why this matters? Survivors often fear they're going mad, that the anger, the looping, the conversations, the breakdowns are a sign that something is deeply wrong. But you are not mad. You are caught in a structure of collapse that was built by trauma, fed by confabulation, and sustained by abandonment. You are angry because you were abandoned again and again, in moments when you needed someone to tell you, I see you, you're not wrong, you didn't deserve this. That anger is justified, but it cannot find resolution through internal debate. It finds resolution when you return to the truth, even if only for a moment, and allow yourself to say, this happened, it was wrong, I didn't deserve it, and I don't have to justify it anymore. Anger, when it's turned inward, will rot the soul, but anger, when it is held, heard, and named, can become the very thing that helps restore you. Let this be the moment you stop fighting voices that aren't yours. Let this be the moment you stop arguing with the past. And let this be the beginning of something new, a return to the self, a quieting of the noise, and a rising clarity that no longer needs to be explained. You are allowed to be angry, and you are allowed to heal. Peace out. Loads of love.